Loans,
maybe Schools First Financial Credit Union.
Oh, let's jump to the corner.
And our friend Nathan.
Hello.
How are you, Nathan? Good to see you.
Hello, how are you guys?
Was that an okay transition for you?
That's fantastic. I love that.
Do you remember that clip?
I love that movie.
Isn't that great?
Absolutely.
One of the best putts in ever.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Everyone, the crowd's ahead.
It's like tennis. It's like tennis. They're going back and forth.
All right,
That's
hey,
okay.
we got to talk about you're paying those student loans.
Yeah.
There's been so much ups and downs, and I'm excited, now I'm upset, and like all the things. Tell us, where are we in the process right now? What's the news of the day, according to Nathan Calhoun?
Well, there's a big thing coming out for folks that do have student loans. Student loan payments are resuming, which is going to impact a lot of people's financial lives coming up. And while payments don't resume until October, we're out kind of encouraging people to, start figuring some things out, start making some plans now, look into some things so you're prepared for when the change comes.
Got it.
One of the things that you got to think about is like after such a long pause, there's a lot of folks out there that may not even remember what their loan balances are, who their loan servicers are. And so we're kind of saying maybe the first step is to go ahead and get that information clarified. One of the best ways you can do that is to check out the federal student aid website, which is studentaid.gov. There you can log in, you can see the original principal balance on your loans, you can see your current balance on your loans, current interest rates. One of the things to keep in mind about that website though, if you have a private lender, not federally backed loan, then the information won't appear there. You'll have to go straight to the private lenders themselves to get that information, or if you don't have a contact for those, you can go contact the financial aid website or financial aid office at your school. But yeah, once you have that information, then you can start reviewing your repayment plan options and kind of start seeing, what kind of plans you can make.
What the road ahead looks like.
What it's going to look like. All right, there's got to be different options, right? Borrowers have different repayment options, different ways to do this because they're not necessarily locked into specific things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Once again, it's been about 3 years since people were making payments on these loans. So it's very likely that a lot of folks out there are going to be in a different financial spot than they were 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Some could actually be in a tighter financial spot than they were 3 years ago because of effects of the pandemic. So right now is a great time to evaluate your current repayment plan, see if it fits your current budget. Right now, if you have some questions or maybe this is going to be tight, you might want to check out the Department of Education's site. They have a loan simulator program on there where you can go in there, review options that meet your current goals. Let's say, you want to pay your loan off faster, or let's say you want a lower payment, which a lot of folks might be interested in. They have something called an income-driven repayment plan available, which takes into account your current earnings and may help you lower your payment.
Super good tool.
Yeah. Once again, though, got to do the disclaimer. If you have a private loan, that's not something that's available there. Yeah.
All right, I do want to ask for people like Gary, who has his undergrad loan, his graduate school loan. When he went and got his doctorate, he has a loan for that.
Masters.
He then bought a couple cars and has loans, but those aren't in this.
Right.
What if you have multiple loans? If you have multiple, of these that you have to pay, what are we telling people with that?
Yeah, there can be some benefits to thinking about if you have multiple loans, maybe trying to consolidate those all into one big loan.
Yeah.
There can be some benefits, but there are some things to think about too. One of the benefits obviously being, if you're paying multiple lenders at multiple times of the month, that's a lot to keep track of. You're sending multiple payments, who knows, maybe things get mixed up. You consolidate into one, it's one payment, one time of the month. The other benefit is generally if you have a higher loan balance, a lot of loan servicers out there will offer you a longer term.
That's good.
A longer term means a lower monthly payment, and it's more comfortable on a monthly basis for your budget. But the downside is over the long haul, that's more interest that you're going to pay.
More interest, and I'm sure there's probably a fee up front to fire up that loan too. To start that loan, there's probably a fee up front. Possibly, right? That could be the three. All right. Anything else students need to do to prepare?
One thing I do want to point out that there's some great resources out there. Go talk to your trusted financial advisor down at your financial institution. But there's some online resources out there too. One example I really love to point out is the national nonprofit Greenpath Financial Wellness. A partner of Schools First, they're offering a free webinar on August 15th at 5 p.m. You do not have to be a member to join. This is open to anybody out there. Something that you're going to want to check out. If you're interested, go to www.greenpath.com/SchoolsFirst FCU and then just scroll down to more webinars.
This guy's got all the resources.
He's got it all. So what I took from this is I need to get one loan to cover all my other loans.
Yeah, well, Arizona State
And put
paid
that
you to
all
go
in
there.
there, too.
It was the other ones, your master's, your doctorate that you got to.
Well, I got a free ride, yeah.
We'll figure that out.
I played every sport there, so it was a free ride.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. There's
Nathan,
Schools
thanks.
First, Federal Credit Union. Nathan does it again. He was in the corner and he was fantastic. Over 70 locations is how many Schools First has all to serve you and get your student loans all tidied up.